Good morning, children. Today we are going to start with the last lesson of chemistry, that is structure of atom. So let's begin with the topic structure of atom. Little bit about the structure of atom we have already discussed in the previous chapter. So you must be aware of the things that we will be discussing here. So first let's begin with the lesson now. Here you see, in chapter 3, we have learned that atoms and molecules are the fundamental building blocks of matter. The existence of different kinds of matter is due to different atoms constituting them. Now, the question arises, what makes the atom of one element different from the atom of another element? That means, how is oxygen different from nitrogen? Atom of oxygen is different from nitrogen. What is the difference between them? Second, are atoms really indivisible? We can, because if you remember, Dalton said that atom is the smallest particle of matter. We cannot divide atom further. So is it really very true? So these were the two questions that were thought about by the scientists. Okay, so we shall find out the answers to these questions in this chapter. So children, let's begin. A major challenge before the scientists at the end of 19th century was to reveal the structure of atom as well as to explain its important properties. The elucidation of structure of atom is based on a series of experiments. One of the first indication that atoms are not divisible comes from studying static electricity and the condition under which electricity is conducted by different substances. So children, the two questions that were asked by the scientists, or you can say that were thought by the scientists, were whether the atoms of the different elements are different and what is the difference between those two atoms. Like if I say atom of oxygen and atom of nitrogen, how are these two atoms different from one another? Second thing is, are atoms really indivisible? Is it possible to divide atoms further? Because Dalton said that atom is the smallest particle. So let's see what are the findings or what were the things that were done to answer these two questions. First one is charged particles in matter. For understanding the nature of charged particles in matter, let us carry out this activity. Now let's see, you must have done this activity way earlier also, and generally at home we have seen this. When you comb your dry hairs and then does the comb then attract small pieces of paper? We have done this when we were small kids. We have done many times. After combing the hair, we bring them the comb to the small bits of paper and the paper gets attracted. ये हमने देखा है, we have done this. Another thing is rub a glass rod with silk and bring the rod near a balloon. Okay, and observe what happens. The balloon gets attracted. So why did the comb attract the pieces of paper, or why did the rod attracted the balloon? That means some kind of attraction or some kind of you can say charges are present on comb and the rod or the balloon. That is why there is attraction. And we also know that opposite charges attract each other. So let's see, from these activities we can conclude that on rubbing two objects, now we have rubbed comb and hair or glass rod with silk. So when we rub two objects together, they become electrically charged. Now where does this charge come from? Okay, so when we rub comb and hair, so the comb and hair both gets charged. The question arises that how did they get charged, or from where was this charge coming from, right? So many scientists contributed in revealing the presence of charged particles in an atom. So it was known in 1900 that atom was not simple, indivisible particle but contain many subatomic particles. So later on, while answering these questions as to how the objects got charged, the scientist came to a conclusion. And what was the conclusion, children? The conclusion was that atom is not a simple particle and it is not indivisible. Matlab, it is divisible. You cannot say that atom is the smallest particle. Atom also contains subatomic particles. That means the particles which actually combine to form an atom. So this was a new discovery done by the scientist. The electrons, so the first subatomic particle that was discovered was the electron, and this was discovered by J.J. Thomson. So J.J. Thomson was the scientist who discovered electron. Now, even before the electron was identified, there was another scientist called E. Goldstein. E. Goldstein in 1886. You see, electron was discovered in 1900. So before that, in 1886, E. Goldstein, what did he found out? He discovered proton. How did he discover proton? What he did was he saw new radiations in a gas discharge and called the canal rays. I will show you this video also just to explain how did they discover electron and proton. These rays were positively charged radiations which ultimately led to the discovery of another subatomic particle, and that subatomic particle was equal in magnitude but opposite in sign to the electron. Okay, so just we have read this part of your NCERT. Now let me in the next video I will give you a PDF where you will understand what I meant about electron and proton. Okay, so in the next video we are going to learn about electron and proton in detail.